Morning folks, another beautiful week. Well, it's a bit chilly, but the sun's coming out. It's been rather wet this morning and over the weekend. We've had snow and all sorts, but it's dry at the moment, so we're cracking on. Morning Gregor.
Morning.
Week 13 it is, folks. Week 13, and probably got another 8 or 9 weeks before I need to move on to my next job. So we're going to just press on and see how far we get. So plan for this morning, we're going to get the floor up on the mezzanine. And we're just finishing all the last little bits of the structure. What we're doing is we're using structural screws to fasten some of the trimmers together and some of the junctions. Gone are the days of having to use coach bolts and nuts and washers and all that sort of stuff. So these are just brilliant. That's got a, can you see? That's got a fitting on it that you can use with your impact driver, which looks like that and actually comes with it. So love it when you get a free bit with a box of screws, and that's what we use to drive these in. They go really well. You don't need to pilot hole them. Pilot hole just means that you drill a hole before you put the screw in, so you don't have to do that. Just waz them in. So we're just going to sort that out. We'll stick a couple of wall plates up on the end of these, where our little jack walls are going to go for supporting our roof, and then we'll get the deck down and start looking at some rafters. So let's see how we get on. Okay folks, little update. So standing on the floor, got that in this morning, and we're just starting to have a look at how we're going to pitch the rafters. So we've stripped back the fascias here and the bedding of the tiles sort of all the way down. That's to the front of the house, so we can get our roof pitch line. So our rafter's going to tuck up underneath this at that sort of level, and then we'll find our center point, which is about here. That's where our ridge is going to go. So we'll have a new ridge tile, which looks like that, down here somewhere. And then the front of the roof will pitch that way, leaving a bit of a gap. So that's the plan. And we're just going to trim back all the bits of timber that were supporting the fascia, so we can get tight to that up underneath the tiles. And then when we actually come to fit the roof tiles on top of here, we'll strip these back a little bit to put some new felt underneath here, membrane we use these days, and then we'll run that over so that this will be waterproof. So that's what we're on. So we're just running in a few more rafters at the back here today. Yeah, so we're just putting a couple of double rafters in there for a Velux window. Get a bit of light onto that mezzanine. But the weather's shining and we're geared up. Fired up, aren't we, Greg? We're gonna smash it today. Anyway, let's see how we get on. Folks, it's been using this framing square. It's a new tool that I actually saw online, and it's been developed by a carpenter in the UK, and it's really handy actually. It's very helpful for marking out your plumb cuts and your seat cuts and your bird's mouth. Now, for those of you who aren't builders, that'll mean not a lot to you, but it basically means that it helps you to set out all the correct cuts that you need for your rafters. All right, so just so you can see it in place, when you mark along here, that's what's called your plumb cut, and then that sits up against the ridge board, so you can see when we mark it and cut it there, that gives us the perfect angle to sit perfectly vertical against our ridge. And then when you slide it all the way down to the bottom, you can see that when we mark our total length, it gives us this position in line with the outside of the wall. And then by using this movable square part, we can mark out the size and the exact position of the bird's mouth, which is this little cut, this little corner that we take out, which means it sits nice and flush on the top and on the back of the wall. And then again, we can still use this on our final measurement here, which is that plumb cut again. This is where our fascia will fit and our soffit underneath. So that is the roofing square. It's been very helpful, good bit of kit. So there you go, roofing square. Right folks, back on the roof again. Finished a little bit of brickwork up there, fill in the bits that came loose, and we just put this beam in along the front rafters. So that's going to leave this space open so we can get materials up here for plasterboarding, insulating, Velux window, the whole lot. So you can block that in right at the end, sort of last job. So that's just a different way of doing it. And then this is the other way we did it on the other side. So there's a timber underneath each rafter, so fitting flush, and then one on the side backing it up, bolted to the side of the rafter, and then we've put nogs in between all of those as nailers for the plasterboard. So that was quite a lot more work, but actually we didn't want to put any birds' mouths retrospectively in there and a top plate because of the Velux window and the assembly we've got there with the trimmers and stuff. Just too much timber to work through. So yeah, that's what's happening now. So that's all done. Super sunny, not a cloud in the sky. We're sorting out the roof. Well, that's not strictly true. We're sorting out the gable wall this morning. So we're going to get this studded out. Just putting a little support here for the ridge so we can bring a couple of studs off that. So we just spread the load nicely. And then we might get the OSB on, close that up, and then we're on to fascias. So yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, ladies and gents, this is where we got to. Forgot to start filming. Whoops, but never mind. So we just got onto sheeting the gable here. So we've got all the studs in. And nice little detail here. So got triple 4x2 there with the 6x2 underneath, and that is picking up all the load from the ridge. We've got a double underneath there, which is good, and then we've got two singles spreading all the way down onto a nice big header under there. So yeah, not going nowhere. Unfortunately, that looks really nasty. That's 30 degrees instead of 60 degrees, but I can't cut 60 degrees on the circular saw, so it looks a bit naff, but yeah, it's better than nothing. Anyway, so yeah, we're sheeting up, and then we'll get on to the last couple of rafters on the outside here to then pick up the soffit and the fascia. So we'll go, and then once they're on, we're on to tiling, bit of roofing, so making nice progress. So we have a bit of luncheon, but this is where we've ended up. Yeah, looking tidy. Looking tidy. Just give me a little spritz at the front here. Yeah, looking nice. Getting there, making progress. Hey folks, well there's the end of the day. Not done too badly. We've got the soffit and fascia on at the back of the house there where it connects in with the old roof. But making progress. So tomorrow, more fascias, more soffits. Going to do all this bit of stuff up here, get it ready to rock and roll for all the roofers, and then we'll head downstairs and sort that lot out. So yeah, really starting to look a bit like an extension of the house. So we're doing all right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.